Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Occupy Democrat Show. My name's Mark Bland.
And I am Jason Cole.
And welcome to another fun stroll down that which is America. And before we got on the show, Jay, right before we got on the show,
yes,
I'm sitting here scrolling through some stuff, just double checking, making sure nothing's going to pop up out of the complete blue and catch us off guard. Because sometimes it does, right?
Yeah.
Just like today with the storms, we started a little bit later here in St. Louis. We had some pretty torrential rainstorms and flooding. So we weren't able to get to where we needed to get to.
A lot
easily.
in a short amount of time.
A lot in a short amount of time. But that's very typical for Missouri.
That is. That's
we are very used to 85-degree days, 21 degrees by 10 p.m. Like, we're very used to that. We're very used to
We've got it.
2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's completely sunny and everything's fine. By 2:30, it is a torrential tornado downpour. Right. And by 3 o'clock, we're back to sunny and the birds chirping and everybody's back to normal.
When we walk out here, I bet it will be.
That's just the way it works around here in the state of Missouri. And I guess that's one of the reasons, maybe for some people, the weather's got to be out of control, like misery.
Yeah,
like we call it Missouri,
yeah,
but like misery, like that idea.
Misery weather. It's terrible.
Missouri weather can be bad.
It does suck.
It can be. You know what else can suck too?
I bet I know.
Human beings.
Yeah.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, because like I said before we came on the show, something popped up onto my feed. The thing that popped up onto my feed, Jason, and I can't show it to everybody because we don't have it like that. But what I can do, because I do have it like this. See, I can take this and turn my computer around, and then I can literally show you what they put up on the official White House account. Look at that.
Isn't that great?
That's a picture of Donald Trump, and then a picture next to him of where Joe Biden should be sitting, and then another picture of Donald Trump. Of course, the pictures of Donald Trump look normal for the first one from 2016, and then like a complete moron and idiot who got arrested from 20 whatever. And then the picture in the middle is supposed to be Joe Biden, ladies and gentlemen. I know I wasn't in front of a mic and you didn't hear some of those words. That's supposed to be Joe Biden. That is supposed to be now, Jason, a picture of the auto pen.
That's the auto pen that the robot president used.
Correct. The robot president used the auto pen. And so now they took that picture and they put it there and they're like, look at this. Official White House account. We're trolls. We're real trolly. We're really good at trolling. Let me show you how to troll properly. You ready? Here we go. One, that's not a good troll. If you wanted a really good troll on that, here, I'll help you out. Take a physical pen, make it green or make it something and make it noticeable. Remember Bill Cosby with the electric pen that he would use on like a not Sesame Street, Electric Company or whatever, when he would do the picture pages and he would draw on it, would make noises and it was big. And you take that and you post that up.
Stick that on the wall.
You put that in the middle. And then you say, this was the president of the United States. Yeah. The physical auto pen. Not the signature and all that. Because that's the actual signature of the actual president of the United States, which you said was a robot. But it's not a robot. It was supposed to be a lizard person. It wasn't a lizard person.
Well, which is it? Is he a feeble old man that needed an auto pen, or is he the sophisticated robot that murdered the real Joe Biden and then took everything over?
You make an amazing point, Jason.
Which is he?
America, Jason made a great point there. You guys have been complaining about him for the last 8 years solid between Obama stuff from before the presidency and how much you hated him for that, then him running for president and then beating you, and then 4 years of him being president and the rigged election that we didn't rig the first one, we rigged the next one, but then we didn't rig the last one because we were like, oh, we feel good for him, so we'll just let him go.
But don't you think
that's like a real troll right there? That's a real troll move. A real troll move is, hey, I rigged the election, I took it away from you, and then I decided to give it back to you because I'm that good at what I do. That's a real troll move.
But don't you think a robot Joe Biden wouldn't need an auto pen? Wouldn't they have him already be able to sign like Joe Biden?
Yeah, I feel like the robot Joe Biden wouldn't be able to.
Keep track of their conspiracy.
They just can't.
You know what? That picture, that's why there's no really good Republican comedian. Like true die-in-the-wool Republican.
No.
They're just not.
They all have to come down every bit. And listen, even their troll moves have to come down a little bit, Jason. Let me give you an example before we get into truly trolling Donald Trump the way he deserves it. Jason, do you remember right after Joe Biden was elected president of the United States, and then he took office?
Yeah, wasn't that great?
And then right after that is when they start up the Daytona 500 and things like that, right?
Yeah.
NASCAR gets moving, right? We've got the NASCAR that gets started up, Daytona and all that. Oh, yeah, love
NASCAR.
it. Love it.
Like cars driving fast.
Yeah, turning left a lot.
All
Not
the time.
against it.
Really good at it. Hey, you know what? It's probably hard to do. I just don't want to watch it.
Not against it.
It's kind of like golf.
I love racing. I love NASCAR.
Like golf's hard to play. I just don't want to watch it.
Do you remember they were like, let's go, Brandon?
I remember
And
that.
it was all based off the name of a NASCAR driver, a specific NASCAR driver that they were interviewing at the time.
Yeah.
And they were so good at trolling, Jason. This is how good you guys are at trolling. This is your amazing troll moves of America. They were so good at trolling. Do you remember, Jason, the name of the race car driver? His first name was Brandon. Do you remember
I don't remember the last one.
You don't remember his last name?
I just knew it wasn't F.U. Joe Biden. I knew that it wasn't his name.
But you don't remember his last name?
No.
That's good. No. That's fantastic, Jay. I'm glad that you don't remember.
To be fair, I don't know a lot of race car drivers.
That's fair.
But, yeah, I don't know that
I
guy.
also know a lot of people that are Republican that talk a great game about NASCAR and love to fish. They always tell me about how every time they go fishing, they always catch 20 fish. And they're all
really
state limit or bigger, and they were almost within range of a world record or a state record at any one given moment, right?
Those are the guys that fill fish with, like, weights.
Every time they go hunting, right? That's in the spring, right? The spring opens up. We get out there and we go fishing on the docks and stuff like that.
Collect them all.
Then in the fall, what happens? We get hunting season.
We kill deer.
We kill deer. And all of them have
every deer.
12 points.
Yes.
12-point racks that are huge. And they're all the best. And no one else
right
kills more deers than all of them.
Nobody.
Well, they chose a guy by the name of Brandon Brown.
That's that guy.
To be that individual. Brandon Brown. Don't forget it. It's Brandon Brown from That's It.
From wherever town.
Jason, do you know how many races Brandon Brown has gotten a top 3 finish in?
I'm going to say 0. And I don't even know. I'm just going to say 0 because I don't know him.
I'm pretty sure the answer is 0.
Yeah, I
could be off on that. Maybe at this point. I could double check. I think his best finish was a top 10 finish, maybe 5th, 6th, 7th.
Way to go, bud.
One time in the last 5 years.
Well, maybe not so good.
And if that's not the proof, I'm not going to knock Brandon Brown for his career and what he's accomplished, because that's him in his career and what he's accomplished. But
racing cars is hard.
If you really want to make fun of somebody, make it somebody whose name's out there all the time. Make it somebody that keeps reverberating it down the road, right?
Yeah.
Make it somebody with a name that's popular in the world of that, right? So that it's brought up a lot.
Yeah.
This name isn't brought up a lot, ladies and gentlemen, in NASCAR. Brandon Brown's not brought up a lot.
No.
It's not a memorable name. That's why the Let's Go Brandon thing fell off so bad. And by the way, because of his lack of wins, you guys didn't have nothing to cheer for so that you could keep it going. And after all of that, it failed. It fell apart. Your troll move was unsuccessful. Now, Jason, let's get into trolling Donald Trump.
Let's troll that guy.
Donald Trump, you're the president of the United States. Jason, does he have full control of the House of Representatives?
Yeah, he does.
Does he have full control of the United States Senate?
He does.
So he has full control of Capitol Hill.
Yep.
Does he also have control of the auto pen?
If he needs it.
If he needs it, he has control of it right now. So he has full control of the presidency.
Yes.
He has full control of the House and the Senate.
Controls them all.
He has the ability to make a phone call and end the Ukrainian war like that.
Yeah. He's running late on that. Though.
He's good on that. So he's got all these abilities to do all of these things, except for be a normal president of the United States and run the country and use the Senate and use the Congress the way it was designed, right? For the people to discuss the bills and the ideas and then to put them forward. And then he signs off on them and pushes them into law. And sometimes we go for constitutional laws. Sometimes we just go for random rules of the road. It just depends on the day and what we're working on. But that's what it always comes down to at the end of it. Yeah. But Donald Trump, you're a really horrible president.
He is.
That's right. You're not good at being president of the United States. You suck at it. Let me show you how bad you are at it. Could you throw up that picture of my friend Martir Garcia Lara? There he is.
Ooh, look at this guy.
Now, if you see, we've got our friend Martir Garcia Lara, the young man. He's a fourth grader right there from Torrance, California. Then we've got cosplay Kristi Noem.
Yeah, look at her go.
Rocked out. She's dressed the same way she was in Operation Desert Storm when she was taking down Osama bin Laden with SEAL Team 8 or whatever it was.
She's Zero Dark 30. That's
she's Zero Dark 5, and she's handling it. And then there's the guy that runs everything over there, guy. The other side. Whatever.
The orange man.
He's over there, the orange guy, yeah. What does our boy Roth like to call him? He's a Mustache Mussolini or Macalini or Mochaccino Mussolini or whatever.
Mango Mussolini.
Mango Mussolini. That's it. Mango Mussolini. And by the way, on top of being a horrible president of the United States and not doing anything well, we'll get to these guys in a second, you also don't do tariffs well. You don't do any of that well. So guess what? Literally nothing you're doing is any good or useful to the United States right now. It's alienated everybody and pissed them all off.
He's the worst president, and he's the worst person that's been president. Like, he's equally bad on both fronts.
Watch how we troll.
All right.
You ready? Hey, Jason, you see that picture of those three people?
I do.
Which one of those three people do you think is the most unhappiest as we speak?
Probably the one on the right. That one kid looks pretty happy, but I'm assuming it's going to be the kid.
It is.
Yeah.
It is the fourth grader from Torrance, California. You see, Martir Garcia Lara was with his father, and they had to be picked up by ICE agents, thanks to our friend Kristi Noem. They had to be picked up by ICE agents, and they had to be attacked in Torrance, California. And then this fourth grader was separated from his parents, and now it's a big debacle like he's in CCOT in El Salvador. And it's a huge issue. Okay.
It's always so ridiculous.
The orange guy over there on the far side took the young man that I'm pointing at right here out of his life, threw him into some place he wasn't used to, and then moved on with his life while the chick in the middle decided to dress up with more Gravy Seals stuff.
You know, the lack of empathy that they have with what they do to other human beings is insane.
It is insane.
Right? Like you, even in war, we have war crimes for a reason. So we don't cut the heads off of our the people we're against. It. You have to at least have some sort of humanity, even in war.
But Jason, it only gets better.
Yes.
Because like I said, we're going to teach them how to really troll if you really want to do it the right way. So, hey, Metro, you got a video over there that my friend Jason sent over to you? Something with, I don't know, a lady in a car maybe getting attacked or something.
Minding their own business.
I don't know, minding their own business, and then something happens. You got that one for me, sir? Yeah.
There's a little bit of narration on this for us.
All right, that's fine. Let's roll it. Let's roll this. Roll that clip.
No, pues no me voy a bajar.
Entonces le tiene que...
Si no me baja, si no
No,
me...
you
no,
know?
deja que lo revienten.
No, if it's against... No! Oh, mommy!
This is Salvadoran Elsie Noemi Barrios behind the wheel. Detained by federal agents in Maryland earlier this week, her daughter shot the video.
Ray, don't grab her like that!
DHS said in a statement, this individual has been identified as an associate of the vicious MS-13 gang. Americans can rest assured that she's off our streets and locked up. Berrio's family was shocked by the allegation, saying their mother has no ties to MS-13 or any gang, adding that she held a valid work authorization while her immigration proceedings were pending. Her daughter saying simply, it's not true.
Oh my God. My mother never done anything wrong for her to be able to like be treated inhumane, because I can call this inhumane. Not like they didn't, I feel like they didn't do it professional. They're not doing their work professional. Not only with my mother, they're doing this with a lot of people, especially Hispanics.
According to ICE, Noemi Berrios remains detained at one of the agency's processing centers in rural Pennsylvania. Her attorney says she has a bond hearing scheduled for Monday, April 14th. DHS has not responded to multiple follow-up inquiries from CNN.
All right.
I like how they hide their face.
Well, why would they need to do that with diapers? Face diapers.
Like,
they went out of their way to post it. In fact, if I could find out the name of those two ICE agents right there in that video, I would love to go look at their Facebook feeds. I bet you if I did a search of the last 5 years, I'd find at least 2 or 3 moments where they weren't screaming like they wanted to cover their faces up with masks. In fact, I bet they got a couple of posts where they were like, oh, these libtard cucks in their stupid face diapers. I bet.
Yeah,
I'd be willing to bet money on the table in Vegas, DraftKings right now, underdog.
You know, they're supposed to be ICE agents. They're wearing ski masks. The one agent, I think it was in Michigan or wherever, had a ski mask with the Punisher logo on it. Like, what law enforcement dresses like that?
Now, that young man was in 4th grade.
Yes.
That lady looked like she was older. Like, she was probably in her 40s or 50s, like herself.
Her daughter seemed a little older.
And her daughter seemed a little older, but young still, like, early 20s, like late teens, something like that. And they didn't arrest the daughter, but the mom, I saw the full video in full, like not the one that we had played there with that, but the physical full video. I watched the physical full video. The mom was very calm in the majority of the situation. She even waited for them to help her figure out how to get the glass off her lap from after they smashed the window in and all this. She kept trying to calm down her daughter because she's normal. She understands that this is wrong. There's nothing they can do right this second. She's got to try to find a way to calm her daughter down. But do these people look like shot callers for MS-13?
And that's always their go-to, right?
Like, it's MS-13.
Everything.
It must be the only gang from Mexico. By the way, if you're the shot caller for one of the other bigger gangs, either you are absolutely loving that MS-13 gets all the heat right now, so you can do whatever you want behind the scenes. So that's a bonus for you. Or, as I've come to figure out with most people off the streets, they like their popularity. They like being known. They want people to know they got money and they flash. They do this, they do that. You're taking away their opportunity to become the more popular, more well-known gang in the eyes of Americans and the President of the United States, who matters the most. And you see, now you're not so smart, are you, Trump supporter? Because you didn't have any of that figured out.
No, and you go back like 87, 88 years and take out MS-13 and put in Jew.
Sure.
That is what they're doing. They are going around rounding up illegals by looks.
Yeah.
They don't know who
And their
she
argument is simply this. The auto pen never held anyone against their will in a jail and beat them up.
No.
So because that never happened, doesn't matter about people of color, doesn't matter about deportation or immigration status, this, that, and the other, that doesn't matter. That never happened to them. So because that never happened to them, Jason, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They deserve this new opportunity for it to happen. And that's the way they look at these things. And that's crazy.
Well, and how would these Trump supporters feel if they lived in Mexico, but they were a Mexican citizen, and all of a sudden Mexico started rounding up white people, and they got grabbed and stuck in a hardcore prison, and they're a citizen of that country. They've done nothing wrong, because that's happened. It's happened famously to Garcia, who's down in CCOT right now. Like, That could happen to you if
You
another
guys
country decided to do what we do.
aren't having issues yet. Wait till you start coming for the white people in America. And I'm going to say it like this. The white people in America that you've been so proud to beat the chest about, that you also told the Constitution matters for these reasons.
Yep.
You gave them guns and said that Constitution will make sure that those guns never get taken out of your hands. Wait till you come for them dudes. Wait till you come from them dudes from 8th grade that you never picked in kickball. Wait. Wait until you come for them. I'm just saying, wait until you come for them, because they're the ones who go on their Facebook and say, not over my dead body. Yeah. It's not the dude from CCOT. It's not the MS-13. By the way, about that female that was taken down on the MS-13 thing, Jay, you don't think gang members in gangs who are men like women? You don't think they'd want to date a woman at a different time period in history when they were much younger, when they kept a lot of their secrets from them, when they knocked them up and had children with them, and it might have even gotten out of the gang world and into a regular life and started being a normal person and just living their lives? You don't think that they don't like women? Maybe she's just somebody that they started dating years and years and years ago when they were in MS-13.
Has no idea what
they were
do.
in something else. This person has nothing to do with any of that. They weren't a part of any of the conversations. And I have proof. You guys love TV shows, right? Donald Trump?
No, he loves them.
He loves TV shows, does
Loves
he not?
ratings, too.
You know what? I bet you one of his favorite movies is Goodfellas.
Oh, what? Yeah, I wonder if there's a way to find out.
And you know why
Donald
Goodfellas
Trump's
is such a great movie?
He likes watching criminals.
Well, yeah, but you know what the difference between Goodfellas and Donald Trump is, Jason?
What's that?
Think about this just for 1 second. Think about it while you're sitting here with me.
One's real and one's not.
Well, in Goodfellas, they were willing to go to jail for the crimes that they did and just live it up in there because they weren't going to turn anyone else in. They weren't going to take anyone else down. They were going to be the real men who backed up everything they said. You know who didn't go to jail for any of their crimes that he committed?
No.
He didn't back up his tough guy, badass, criminal, Alphonse Capone bravado that he tries to pretend that he has, his boardwalk empire fallacy of his Trump Taj Mahal that is no longer existing, Jason.
Threw them all under the bus. Everyone around him to get himself out of prison.
Threw everybody under the bus.
Yep. You know what?
Nothing like the gang members of Italian gangs that are loved and respected, and they write movies and TV shows and books about in America that you, Donald Trump, have come to fall in love with. They man up. They don't turn on their friends. They have a thing called, wait, this is a word most people in this room might not know. I bet you Jason does. He's probably heard it in a TV show or two. The other Metro might know it too. They have something in the world of, in the Italian world of the mob and gangs, they call omerta.
Yes. Silence. Code.
It's a code.
Code of silence.
In professional wrestling, we had a similar code. It was called kayfabe. The internet has ruined kayfabe. Literally has ruined kayfabe.
Yep.
But that was the point of the code. The code protected the business. Donald Trump doesn't protect fourth graders.
No.
Donald Trump doesn't protect old women. Donald Trump doesn't protect Metro. He doesn't protect Jason Call.
Nope.
He doesn't protect Kristi Noem or Omarosa. He doesn't protect anybody. Worthless. So you're a bad president. You do stupid things. You're not as tough as the gangsters that you pretend that you think you are. And then all of your people run around talking about how face diapers were stupid and let's go Brandon can't name the name of the NASCAR. I bet you've already forgotten the name of the NASCAR driver I said just 5 to 7 minutes ago on this show. You can't even remember his name or any of this other stuff. And then it only got worse, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know how it only got worse? We have a friend.
Yes.
We have a friend.
We do.
We have a friend, and that friend, I'm not going to say his name.
All right.
That friend is deep in the world of Ukraine. That
Yes.
friend is deep in the world of Israel
I know that guy.
and being Jewish. That individual told me that they are not happy right now. And I'll explain why. There are influential people in the world of politics. They don't necessarily always run around the same circles all the time. They might be a guy like me who bounces from here to there or wherever
Roundabout.
to do all these things. And
Yes.
you know what? You know what?
Yes.
I don't think that they get it. I don't think. Here, let's just. There we go. Guys, this is a live show. This is a podcast. This is not Daily Show. This is not the Midas Touch.
Not recorded.
We are not those people. We do our show. If I want to answer my phone in the middle of the show, I answer the phone in the middle of the show. If I want to turn it, I'll turn it off. If I want to take a drink of water, take a drink of water. It's a real show. We're real dudes. We're not messing around with our words and the way that we view these things and the way that we approach you, Donald Trump, or your administration, or dumb people. Back to who I was talking.
Yes.
They are now having to be apologetic. And the reason they're having to be apologetic is because they really did believe that because they're Jewish and they hold that side of their life and how they've been raised and grew up
Yes.
so hard to them, which is fine. That's everybody grows up differently, right? Different experiences, different influences. Nothing wrong with that at all. They really thought that by moving towards a Donald Trump, saying things like, I'll fix it with one phone call in a day. I don't think that this person didn't necessarily believe that. But they did have conversations quite often. Biden did come up. The movements with Ukraine would come up quite often, whether things were working or not, whether Israel and Gaza was going on behind the scenes. This person's focus was Ukraine. That's where they come from. Then Donald Trump didn't help Ukraine. And then things got worse. And then it was just a lot of not talking and ceasefires that weren't happening. And then it was, they're not going to do anything. And then Zelensky got kicked out of the White House. They had to take it into their own hand. Now they're doing things like you showed me the other day. They're blowing up jets on the tarmac. They're destroying entire Russian fleets.
With Europe's help.
They just got done blowing up a bridge. A huge bridge that was used for Ukraine to like go between Russia and the Ukraine. This hampers Russia quite a bit. But they're starting to see movements being happening like that.
Yeah.
And then they see this. Metro, can you put up that tweet from Donald Trump that I sent you with his big red circle in the corner of him and his face?
He's so great.
Nope. Oh, we'll get to that too.
That's
Don't worry. We'll get to that too. It's a tweet. It's just a tweet. Just a regular old tweet.
Just a picture.
You don't have that tweet. Okay. All right. So at 2:00 in the morning then, Jason
Yes.
rattled off the top of his head a tweet where he said he had a phone call with Vladimir Putin. It lasted for an hour and a half, 90 minutes.
It's a long call.
90 minutes. And they weren't able to get to a ceasefire. And Putin's not happy about the fact that they have attacked him and that has to be answered for. And that's where it ended. That was it. There was no, I wanted to get more out of him. I wanted to discuss this further with him. I tried to get him and Zelensky on the phone together. It was talk for an hour and a half. He wants to beat up the Ukraine more and attack Zelensky and them. So that's just where we're at.
Isn't it great, though, that it's Donald Trump staying up late to call Vladimir Putin to figure out that time difference instead of like Vladimir Putin being sort of set back a little bit? Like Trump stayed up late to do the call, and Putin was just like normal business hours.
Now, I was thinking about this.
Right.
I'm reading this 2 a.m. tweet. We know he likes to go off at 2 a.m. half-cocked quite often.
Yeah.
Okay.
When's he sleep?
At the same point, we are dealing with other parts of the world that are hours and hours ahead of us, time-wise.
Yeah.
So if I'm trying to get a hold of Putin in the morning, I want to get a hold of him at 6 a.m. his time or 7 a.m. his time or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I might have to do it at like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock our time or whatever. Do you see what I'm saying? Or if I got to get a hold of him at 10 a.m. his time.
You would think I'm the president of the United States. You're making your calendar harder, not mine. Like you're gonna either
Oh,
come in later or
Wait. So you're the president of the United States?
like if I was.
So if you were the president of the United States, you would be like, what?
I would expect them to be put off and not me. Like,
Wait, well, but why, Jason? Why would you, if you were playing president? Let's play this.
Well,
Let's play this out for everybody for a second.
important.
If you were playing president of the
Yeah.
United States right now, and this was the situation, it's 2:00 in the morning. Why would you feel you're more important?
because you would feel we're the big dog. They need our help. We don't need their help. We don't need anything from Russia. Russia needs the United States.
Wait, so you're saying that on top of all the other things we said he was bad at doing as president,
He can't even do that right.
being the most powerful person in the world, which, by the way, came with a free moniker of most powerful man on the planet, okay? It came with that moniker. It's given to every president, the most powerful man on earth, right? Right?
Yeah.
You got that given to you, and you still aren't the most powerful man on earth. You got to do what Jason said.
Yeah.
Jason's 100% right.
People still make you wait.
Should have been a man. You're not Omerta. You're not Alphonse Capone. You're not even the guys from. You're not even Joe Pesci, who's doing a side gig at the local hibachi restaurant. Like you're not even that.
He's far down. He's far down that totem pole for tough guys.
I don't know what else to do, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how much more clearer to be.
Well, it's not.
I don't know what more we can point at, Jason, and tear into, or point to these people and explain to them how stupid this is. And this is going on every day. You know the story I did get asked about multiple times, Jay? We haven't brought up or talked about at all?
Yes.
The Colorado guy with the Molotov
Yeah, he's throwing
cocktails.
fire around.
Right? Free Palestine, Israel in Gaza, Hamas, everybody battling, Palestine battling back and forth. This man goes to a situation, a protest, I guess, that was happening in Colorado.
Yes, I do believe
In Boulder, Colorado?
Yeah, he lived like 100 miles away.
And then he showed up and he threw alcohol and stuff all over people and lit them on fire.
He did.
On
That's
behalf
insane.
of Donald Trump and Israel, because he just wanted to be that thing. Or was it on behalf of Palestine? I don't know. I didn't do the story. I'll tell you why. Because all this other stuff with the fourth graders going on. I'm not going to focus on you, who's going to throw a Molotov cocktail, hurt a few people, maybe kill one or two. It's going to be the local story in the local paper in Colorado for the next year or two, and that's it. It didn't fix Palestine. It didn't fix Hamas. It didn't fix Israel. It didn't fix the battles, the wars. It didn't make a phone call happen day one after I get elected. It didn't make Donald Trump become the most powerful man on earth finally. It didn't make Vladimir Putin shake in his boots, Jason, or Xi Jinping. It didn't make anyone. Nope.
None of them care.
So if you want to know what real trolling looks like, the last 20 minutes of this show has been legit, straight up real trolling, Donald Trump. You're the president of the United States. You're the biggest dog on the block. And unfortunately, for America, you're useless.
Right?
We've got higher prices, higher everything.
Everything. And his supporters are ridiculous. You know, they love the Constitution, but they fail to recognize that the Constitution protects those illegals, even those illegals. If you are on American soil, you are protected by the Bill of Rights.
Yeah.
Those guys don't even know that.
See, the
That's how
forefathers
ridiculous
said
they
that.
are.
Once again, you're not even a good president who understands other presidents in the past. Do you see how dumb you are? Like, literally going to Wharton and cracking that book in 1961 would have benefited you. Or 1955, whenever it was.
You should have opened that up.
Would have benefited you, bro. But unfortunately, you don't even understand which presidents did what, why they're in the positions they're in, why they matter. You're too busy making up stupid printer copies of dumb memes and trying to shove it into a picture frame for Joe Biden at the White House while everybody's doing real work.
Yeah. That's important, though, right?
Yeah, it's real
Putting
important.
that picture up, that is important.
You know what's really, really important to a guy like Donald Trump, Jay? Shipping lanes, money, businesses. How many of Donald Trump's billionaire friends who are business magnates have their tentacles into thousands of different things when it comes to business.
Oh, yeah.
And Donald Trump has probably hampered 60% of their movements worldwide for their different products. Because think about it. He does something to China and says tariff on this. What people failed to realize and remember is back in 2008, when the auto industry is going upside down, Barack Obama just became president of the United States. He wasn't even president yet in September, we hadn't even elected in November yet Barack Obama.
Yeah, and it was already.
It crashed in September, guys. Barack wasn't even president yet. So once again, when you sit there and go, I can't believe how popular Obama was, how this happened. Well, if you crash the entire economy 2 months before the election,
right,
you literally hand it over to the dude in the tan suit.
Yeah, like 5 months later.
You handed it over to him, Republicans. So it was your own fault then, Brandon. What was his name again? Brandon what? Do you remember? Keep going. All right. So I'm trolling you. No, this is how trolling works. You want to see what good trolling is?
I'll give you a hint. It's a color.
Metro, what's the name of the most famous soccer player to ever play soccer? His name is Pele.
It would be.
Literally. His name is Pele, and literally he's been put in other sports Hall of Fames for soccer simply because he's more popular as a soccer player in history than any other sport that's ever existed. All right. Let's move on, Jay.
Let's do it.
Because trolling Donald Trump's so easy, and I can get into a lot of those other things. Do you have the video of Josh Hawley with Kate Shaw over there, Metro? If you could throw that up for me, sir.
The principle of when an injunction binding non-parties, which was never done in this country before the 1960s. And let's see the chart, the Trump chart, which was done really only once Trump came into office for the first time. You don't think this is a little bit anomalous? You don't think that's a little bit strange?
A very plausible explanation, Senator, you have to consider is that he is engaged in much more lawless activity than other presidents, right?
You don't think
you must
this was
that as a
never used before the 1960s, and suddenly Democrat judges decide we love the nationwide injunction, and then when Biden comes to office, no, actually.
It's Republican appointees as well, Senator, and the 1960s is where some scholars sort of locate the beginning of this.
Can you identify one before then?
Mila Sahoni, who's another scholar of universal injunction, suggests 1913 is actually the first. There were others in the 20s.
The Republican endured for 150 years before there was a nationwide injunction.
Well, the federal government was doing a lot less until 100 years ago. So there's many things that have changed in the last 100 or the last 50 years.
So long as it is a Democrat president in office, then we should have no nationwide injunctions. If it's a Republican president, then this is absolutely fine, warranted, and called for. How can our system of law survive?
He's ridiculous. Anything to avoid the fact that Trump is an illegal president. He does illegal stuff all the time. And those judges, that's their job. They're doing their job is to stop illegal activity.
What I think is even better about that was the fact that it was Josh Hawley's own chart that he brought up to show a point. And it was presidents who've had injunctions against them. So it's got a finite start point and a finite end point. And the end point for Donald Trump currently would be him as president of the United States, except for that was injunctions from the first term. That was showing Bush, then Obama, then Trump, then Biden. And then it was, and these guys got it. Or it was Obama, then Trump, then Biden. It was when these guys are Democrats. No, once again, you're very bad at education. Yeah. You don't understand the past. You don't understand. And you know what's great about Kate? You can tell she's totally the girl that a guy, Josh Hawley, sees at the dance and goes, she's smart. She'll think my good looks are great. So, I'll be able to beat her over the head with my good looks, and it's just going to work.
Yeah. Then he opens his mouth.
She sits there and has this conversation with him, and you can see the smirk on her face as she's explaining to this man, that's your chart. It's about finite injunctions. That was from Trump's first term, so it's already over and 4 years behind us in the past. And they started and ended. And by the way, this president, this many. This president, this many. Your term, this many. These guys, this many. And it was literally, that's how many injunctions Republicans get against them because they do more lawless things. They can't even accept the idea that their guy is a criminal in any form or fashion.
She was like a spider watching something be caught in her web.
She was.
She was just waiting and
She was
smirking, going,
waiting.
"Oh, please keep
Say
talking."
this. Say this next.
You know, Hawley just basically did our job for us. He just showed that Democratic presidents do not try to do illegal activity as often as Trump. Even George Bush, another
Jason,
Republican.
Josh Hawley also is not a fan of this big, beautiful bill. He's not.
That's true.
He's not a fan. You know who else isn't a fan of the big, beautiful bill, Jay?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk isn't a fan of the big, beautiful bill.
Yeah.
Neither one of them are. Am I going to turn around and start saying Elon Musk is awesome? Fuck no.
I wouldn't either. He's not awesome. You know what? That's like saying that, people always say, like, when someone does something to a kid and they're like, well, just wait. In prison, even murderers hate that. I'm not going to give some murderer a pass because he also doesn't like child predators.
Correct.
That's the same thing with Musk. I'm not giving him a pass because he's trying to protect his bottom line with this bill.
And I don't care if Elon Musk does. I don't care if he personally goes and gets that fourth grader himself and drags him back to his family and puts it all over YouTube and then sends him to space on his next SpaceX flight. Don't care.
He's got money.
I don't care. I'm not going to prop some kid up with a police uniform on and try to pretend that it's something that it isn't. Even if that kid's a great kid, even if he's got the right mentality and he's going in the right directions, I'm not going to do that. Elon Musk has done damage to this country with Doge and other things specifically. And then he went on stage and he threw up a couple of Sig Heils, one time, two times. Sorry.
Back to back.
Back to back, same stage. That's purposeful.
He's a little similar to Trump in a way where he'll torch everything to get out of his own trouble. Because a lot of that donated money to Trump was getting out. USAID was investigating him. The SEC was investigating him.
Oh, sure. This was Trump saying, this is how much I want from you to have this position. And he's like, I got it.
All right. And then so Musk comes into power with Trump and just starts torching departments that were against him. Similar to what Trump's doing. Law firms. Certain people, certain congressmen. He's attacking these people who were against him. He's using the presidency as a weapon. And that's what Musk did. He used Doge as a weapon.
Guys, I'm getting really bored with Donald Trump's America.
Hey, not even been 6 months, man.
I'm just getting bored with it. I get it. They're saying the same things online that they were before. Joe Biden sucks. Okay, Joe Biden's not president.
He is not.
So it doesn't matter if he sucks. It doesn't matter if he lost a step. It doesn't matter if he auto-penned 50 times. There's no time machine. You're not going backwards in time. You're not going to get your time back. It's not going to happen. Shut the hell up about it. Deal with the fact that you're president of the United States now. You've got real problems in America and on the world stage. You need to focus on those problems.
Yeah, the crazy thing is he would be popular if he would just be normal. Because there's more of us than him, than his supporters. There's more people who voted against him and don't like him based on his polls and elections. If he was just normal, he would be popular and well-liked. And that's what he wants. He wants to be liked. But
he wants to be liked.
He's not, so then he lashes out and attacks Bruce Springsteen, U2, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, all those people. They would like him if he was just normal.
Do you want to know why me and Jason work so well for the Occupy Democrat show and why it's based out of St. Louis now, outside of the fact that we live here? Do you want to know? I'll tell you why. Because we pay attention to things like this, especially in and around the state of Missouri. We've been dealing with Donald Trumps, like Josh Hawley and Eric Schmidt, for years and years. And they were attacking people in their own states and cities way before they got to attacking people in some cosplay BS thing that they do for Congress every few days, right? Oh, we've got to have another investigation. Let's get Josh Hawley and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Nancy Grace and 4 other people up here. And we're going to sit there and we're going to have them sit in front of them. And then you crazy wrestling coach from Ohio that touches kids. You ask a dumb question. And what about you, dumb guy from Texas? You ask a dumb question before your vacation. And what about you, Marco Rubio? You say something about Ron DeSantis before that. We've seen it over and over and over. It's the same game every single step of the way. Ladies and gentlemen, we've said a lot. We're going to take a quick break here on the Occupy Democrat show. When we come back, more with myself and Jason. We'll be back right after this.
And we're back. Jason Cole back here with you, along with
This guy.
camera.
Over here. It's all right. No big deal.
Go ahead and throw that meme up that we saw earlier today about Ramon Morales Reyes. There it is.
Ramon Morales Reyes.
Yeah, they're all. I wonder do they all run around with three names? Or are we throwing three names on these guys?
I think that this is necessary. Barack Hussein.
Is that what's
Obama.
going on?
Yep.
But I won't get into all of that. That is a lot of small print. But he's on the left there, and what he is he is a 54-year-old undocumented Mexican immigrant living in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He's got his wife and his 3 kids with him.
Far away from the southern border.
That is very far away from the southern border.
Keep going, Jay.
And so his kids are U.S. citizens. He has been in the U.S. for approximately 20 years. He works as a dishwasher. He did enter the country illegally, however, so we're not going to – whoa, it went away.
We're not going to say that didn't happen. Of course.
That thing just disappeared.
No, you're fine.
No, here it goes. So he entered the U.S. illegally, so we're not gonna fluff it up.
We're not going to hit him for that.
He's here illegally, and that is a crime.
It is a crime. He should be detained or stopped in some form or fashion. Now, but that's where it gets great, Jay.
This is where it gets a little crazier. So according to the Department of Homeland, like I said, he entered illegally in between 1998 and 2005. Multiple times, but he's been here for 20 years. So in 2005, that was the last time he came, and he never left.
It's possible that he listened to Hanson's Umbop while riding in the car to come over the border illegally, and it was on the radio as a top 5 song.
I'm surprised he stayed. I'm surprised he stayed after that.
You never thought you were going to get an Umbop quote.
He applied for a U visa. That is a visa for victims of certain crimes who cooperate with law enforcement. So you can
similar to the one that the guy up in El Salvador would
exactly
same kind of thing.
So that was in March of 2025, following an assault in 2023. The application is still pending due to a backlog of 7 to 8 years. So if you filed something today, you're backlogged for 7 years. That's crazy. And they only made it worse when Elon came in with his Doge and started firing people all over the place. So on May 22nd, Ramon Hare, he was arrested.
In the middle there with the mustache.
Yeah, he was arrested by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, after a handwritten letter purportedly written by him was sent to ICE threatening to assassinate President Donald Trump. The letter, written in English, stated that he would shoot your precious president in the head at a rally before self-deporting to Mexico. Now, Department of Homeland Security, our Secretary Kristi Noem, she publicized the arrest on May 28th, sharing his photo and the letter on social media.
Got to get it out there, Jay.
Gotta
Got to get those
there.
clicks, man. Hey,
So,
this is about cosplay, bro, like pro wrestling. Got to look good coming off top rope.
So subsequent investigations revealed that Morales was framed. He was framed by a guy named Demetric Deshawn Scott, a 52-year-old Milwaukee man awaiting trial for armed robbery and aggravated battery against Morales Reyes.
So he's already in jail for being bad to Morales.
So the guy that did this to him is the reason Morales had the U visa in place. This guy. So this guy who didn't want him testifying against him tried to set him up. He admitted to writing the threatening letters. His motive, like I said, was to have him deported so he wouldn't be able to testify against him for this robbery case. Scott was charged with felony witness intimidation, identity theft, and 2 counts of bail jumping on June 2nd. Morales Reyes does not read, write, or speak English fluently, had a handwriting test, confirmed his handwriting does not match the letter, in addition to the guy admitting he did it. His family and attorneys emphasized that his limited education made it impossible for him to write this letter. Like I said, the guy's employed as a dishwasher. Obviously. Milwaukee police also found that recorded jail calls where Scott discussed the plan to frame Morales. But guess what? DHS reports he's got a criminal history, including arrests for felony hit and run, criminal damage to property, disorderly conduct, and a domestic abuse modifier going back to 1996. So without any evidence that he did this and all the evidence showing he didn't, he is now being held at the Dodge County Jail in Wisconsin pending a deportation hearing for a bond hearing on the 4th.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Some criminal in a jail decided to write a letter because we gave him access to pens and paper, and they were able to pull off making, or even a computer, the ability for them to type and do this. Can I offer up a reform? Jason?
Yeah, go for it.
Do you think I could offer up a reform? Could I get prison reform? Can prison be prison? Can prison go back to days of just sitting in jail, no phone, no tablet, no TV, no this, no that, so that you can just do the dirty time for the dirty problems that you created?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that.
Can I put that out there? That might sound Republican in its stance, except for I want to take that stuff out of the hands of this guy that did this to Morales. But I want to take that out of his hands. I don't want him having tablets, laptops, anything to where he could create this fake letter to end up getting this other guy arrested.
Well, it's funny you say that, because what I want to know is, how did he get this letter out of prison? Prisoners' letters are read.
Unless
how did he send that? How did he stamp an envelope to DHS?
He's in jail right now, and so when we put the story out, we say right now, but maybe in some small time he was able to be out on his own.
Unless
something,
he did it before he went in.
And that's when he decided to do it.
Because we have jail recordings of him talking about doing it. So he had to have done it right before he left, or right before he went in then.
Oh, my God. We have jail recordings of him
talking on the phone that
Ladies
he set the guy up.
How much more do we need to tell you? You're just being lied to. Every day, Kristi Noem. Every day, Marco Rubio. Every day, Kash Patel. Every day, Elon Musk. Every day, Josh Hawley. The minute that they switch up for one thing, it's because they didn't get something they wanted in the situation. I have people telling me right now, Elon Musk, they're having their bromances over with. It's over with. I'm like, no, it's not.
No, he's still there.
Do you know how many government contracts were put into place and set up for with all that Doge stuff and the big beautiful bill and all those moves they're making?
The dome?
The Golden Dome. Do you have any idea how many contracts Elon will be involved in? And we'll talk to the higher players at the top of the food chain, including Donald Trump. A bunch. It's not over. You just think it is because they're saying, oh, the bromance is over now. See, we always said Elon was one of them. No,
he's not.
Elon sig-heiled you. Elon put money in Trump's pocket. So Elon, like Joe Walsh, that former congressperson out of Illinois, literally is a part of the problem, led to the reason these things exist, and now is trying to come back on it afterwards. Don't hate Joe Walsh, just saying.
He's a Tea Party guy.
These individuals do this stuff. Right? This is their thing. This isn't our thing.
But, with this whole Morales thing, though, one of the things that's really bad is because of the false accusations and the publicizing of it by DHS, his family is now dealing with multiple threats.
Oh, of course.
Causing significant distress, and people are asking for DHS to issue a public correction to clear this guy's name, because I'm sure everyone's not watching this, and no one's looking this stuff up for themselves. I had to find this to find out everything about this other guy.
Well, don't forget, when a Democrat robot president is in has their job, right?
Things are so much better, right?
It's the deep state.
That is true.
And they're trying to take you down.
I forgot about that.
But when a Republican president is in the same position, it's still the deep state. It's the same deep state.
It's just a different deep state.
It's the same deep state.
Like, this deep state is against us, but that other deep state was for them.
We talk about the network state, oligarchs, Peter Thiel, Palantir, things like that. Only Kash Patel and dudes who do late night podcasts to argue about fake Joe Biden robot stuff and auto pens, they do late night BS conversations about fake things that don't exist. Right? We don't. We talk about real things. Palantir is a real thing. It's happening. Deep state, Joe Biden, auto pen robot lizard isn't real. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter.
Remember when conspiracies were fun? Remember Art Bell, Coast to Coast?
Ghost.
You'd listen at midnight.
It was just ghosts.
And lunatics would call in and tell Art about all the ghosts they've seen and demons and whatever else.
And by the way, listen,
and it was fun.
It was so much better. And I'll tell you why it was so much better. I'm going to be honest, America. A lot of you under the age of 45 are not good curators of the internet at all. You're very bad at it. We don't want to see your stupid concert pics and dumb things from your show you went to.
No,
because first off, you held the camera up in front of me, and I couldn't see the show at all. That's number
Yeah,
one.
no idea what happened.
But number two, like you guys are just not good at these things. It was better when Art Bell was the only person to curate for his own show.
Right.
And then he would be like, here's a show for you. Listen to my show. And then we'd be like, what's he going to talk about tonight? Ghosts?
Yeah.
Is it going to be crazy Bigfoot stories? What's it going to be? Instead, now I've got you and 7 of your family members and 16 of their boyfriends and girlfriends boasting about their trip to the Bigfoot convention this weekend and how I need to take it serious. How we're all crazy.
Conspiracies used to be fun, and now they're dangerous.
They're
are dangerous, and they're causing
But as
problems.
I explained the other day, they've never been pro-America.
No.
Pro-government.
Republicans' conspiracies are always
deep
against,
state, anti-government.
It's always how the government's coming to get you, going to kill you, going to lock you up, going to do all this. It's never how they always talk about how great America is and how much they love it, but it's coming to kill you. It's going to put you in jail.
Yep.
It's trying to poison you with water and food and vaccines and medicine and everything else. But I love it. I just love America so much.
All right, Jay, we've talked a lot of politics today.
We have.
We've discussed a lot of things across the board.
Do something non-politics.
You want to do something fun? Because I got a little story
Let's
here.
end on fun for everyone.
I've got a little story here.
Donald
Well, I got a little
Trump's
story
annoying
that I
and
need to throw
confusing.
you.
Yes.
The Gibson guitar that Michael J. Fox played in Back to the Future
yes.
has been missing since 1985.
Really?
The year the movie came out. And Gibson is trying to find it.
Ooh, yeah. It's a
Michael J. Fox and the movie's other stars are helping currently. Guys, how did we lose the guitar from the set? And Mike, how are you not the guy who grabbed the guitar from the set? I feel like you would just be like, oh, I'm going to keep this.
Sounds like a grip or a light guy grabbed that thing.
Or how did they not give it to Marvin Berry, that actor, and say, here, this is from the scene and all this?
Sign it and slap it up on a Hard Rock Casino or something.
Now, that was going to be my next question. Yeah. Is it at a Hard Rock Casino somewhere and they forgot?
It's in a warehouse.
That they gave it to one of these type of companies for them, and they just never put it up anywhere.
Hard Rock, you better get through your warehouse.
If Jason Call has to go find that Gibson,
I'll find it. If I find it, I'm keeping it, though.
He's keeping it. He ain't selling. No, he's going to take that thing on a tour. If you could get that in the Wienermobile, that is a twofer right there.
Hold it out the window,
Wienermobile and the guitar from Back to the Future. Dude, you'd have everybody out there. All right. My last thing that I got here, Jason, is something that I find interesting. If you're 30 years or older, you could hear the classic screeching of that dial-up internet tone. Remember? All that stuff. Yeah,
that was good stuff.
And be transported back mentally, easily, to a time filled with Smashing Pumpkins and a blockbuster video that might be open on a Friday.
Ooh, I could go to a Planet Hollywood video. Or
maybe get that Little
Hollywood
Caesar.
video.
You could get that Little Caesar's entire meal with the crazy bread, extra everything for $10.
Yeah, that's
good
good stuff.
Pizza too. That's
Right?
2 pizzas. They were $5 each, $10 total.
I
for the
could
pizzas.
download 4 songs in 3 hours and we could rock out.
Not yet. Nope. It's not even 1990. We haven't even gotten to Metallica yet. We're talking about. We're talking about.
Yeah, that's like
98, 99.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, 99. You still had it. People that were
99 into
getting
2000 is when they got mad.
Here are a few things, and I'm actually interested. Metro, all I need is a yay or nay from you, and Jason too, obviously. But this is going to be good to see if you've heard these things. Are you ready? So this could be interesting. You ready, Jason? Things that people under the age of 30, for the most, now Metro's not under the age of 30, but people under the age of 30 or under will have never heard. These are so far out of our game now that they just never happen. You ready? A floppy disk being read. Remember when you would close the thing on the floppy disk and the big one, like all that? Yeah. Have you ever heard of a floppy disk being read, Metro? What about the clink of the metal seat buckles? Remember how they were 2 pieces and you'd have to put them together and latch them?
They weren't plastic back then.
He probably hasn't heard that. That's in much older cars.
That is an old car.
Oh, okay, there you go. All right, so he's got 2. He's 2. But then again, he's not 30 or under. He's over 30. So, I'm working with him on this one. A cassette rewinding faster and faster and faster until thump, it just comes off the reel.
I've never had mine pop off the reel.
Have you ever?
I do know what you're talking about.
Have you ever heard reel to reels? Like get to the end of it and rip off the end? You never heard that?
Oh, now a reel to reel I have, yeah, because it spins around like an old projector and flip it.
Now this one could send him back to his childhood. This one could. The squeaky sound of the AIM, the AIM.
Yes.
What was that? It was what was the company?
There's AOL Instant Messenger.
AOL Instant Messenger chat door opening when their friend logged on. Remember? Yeah. A host asking smoking or non-smoking when you got to most restaurants. Do you remember that from when you were younger at all, Metro? Like them asking smoking or non-smoking for a section? Yeah. Okay. All right. That's fair. A phone recording saying, if you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again. Okay. The chunk of a manual credit card machine. You remember the old? Do you remember the old ones where it was no electrics connected? It was just the card and the old
paper bill and
paper. Yeah, with
imprint
the
your card
imprint and all
sign
that.
there. You're gonna pay that in a month.
He might not have heard that one. How about? Well, see, he said the 6
you know what, though?
he said on this one.
Sometimes the power goes out and shops still sell. They do have those in some retail stores.
On this one, this is gonna be tough. The squeak of the crank windows on a car. Like he had the 66.
He did
so
have
yeah,
that, so yeah.
So he had the crank squeak.
He's a throwback.
He is. And the last one, the ticky sound from those gray computer speakers when the call was coming in. Remember, like the like over the top, like almost like when we peak too much on our audio or something like that, like that screech over the top. Clapping out chalkboard erasers.
Ooh.
Do you remember that one, Metro?
Yeah. Everything's whiteboards now. And
oh, he was clapping out chalkboard erasers.
Wow.
That's in the late 90s,
It's an
too.
old soul.
That's an old soul right there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, me and Jason are definitely not old souls. We found out that our production guy, he's definitely he's an old soul too a little bit. Like he's up there. So
if we happen to go back in time with Metro, he would fit right in.
If we were able to go back in time, we could be Donald Trump and fix all those mistakes he made, but he can't because time machines don't exist.
That's true.
And neither can you, Christy Nome. So you can't fix that fourth grader getting ripped out of his dad's arms, and neither can you, Elon Musk. You can't go back to before the 2 Sig Heils and your blood diamond stories. And who else? Cash Patel. You can't go back to those Stu Peters podcasts where you forget his names.
Cash Patel.
You can't get back. You guys can't get back to nothing. Me and Jason, all we got to do is say, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us on this episode of the Occupy Democrats show. On the next episode of the Occupy Democrats show, Donald Trump will have done more dumb things, Jason.
More than likely.
We will come on here and say that he made more mistakes, didn't help America, things still suck, and they're not going great. Now, I get it. Your roofer, everything's going great for him. Fine. But it's not. He's losing a lot of his workforce. Like, literally, they're running away from his company. So, nope, not even for that guy. So, there you go. That's going to do it for us. That's what we do on this show. You can follow me at Mark Bland. That's down here, Mark Bland. They put it down there. It's got my name, stuff like that. There you go. Mark Bland. Follow me there. That's my names and all that stuff. Jason?
Yeah, you can follow Featherbangs on Twitter, Jason Cole on every other social, Jason Cole 1 on Instagram.
And don't forget, are you checking it now?
No, I just know that's what it's called because it tells me.
Are you into it yet?
I've
sent you messages. You have 2 years worth of messages sent to that account.
They made that for me.
You might want to check it someday.
I do know
I've given up on sending things to that account unless it's amazing.
Some things that I post on Facebook show up on Instagram.
Correct.
I did know that.
I did not know that it happens all the time, but I do know that it does happen.
I think that's why people are confused thinking I use Instagram
Threads
when
too.
I don't.
If you do something
Threads
on Threads, it'll throw it onto Instagram too. Yeah,
I don't go to Threads very often, though.
All right, don't forget to make sure you guys follow us on all of our social media handles at Occupy Democrats. That's right, Occupy Democrats, our social media handles, all the major platforms. We'll see you guys on Friday, 4:30 p.m. We'll be back.